So today we're gonna talk about patience. I know you have heard it a lot. Do trust the process. Be patient. Well, yes, it's true. And more true regarding bulking. Because when we are in this bulk, there's a lot of ways we can, do it wrong. Especially nowadays where 10,000 calories challenge. Right? But today we're gonna talk about gigabulks or dirty bulks. You know, when we talk about gigabulks, I also had that. Like, if I had the money, right, I have the resources to, you know, eat a ton of processed food, go out every day, get some ice cream at the mall, buy some KFC. I don't know. If I had that ability, I would do it. In a sense, I had the urge to do that if I could, right? But I see why it's wrong. Like Lee Priest, he did this, but we cannot really copy that because it's on some use. Yes, he dirty bulk, but he knows what he's doing. The dangers of dirty bulks are excessive fat gain or gigabulks. Well, you could say that more muscle means more food equals more muscle, right? Yes, but actually no. Catch the reference. What I mean by that? Yes, in a sense of you have to eat more to get bigger. There's no way around it. You will gain some fat. There's no way around it, of course. Which is why some men are afraid to bulk. So they think they're gonna be obese. Like, no, it's not the thing. No, in a sense of the more you eat, like there's a certain level of cap, or depending on your body. For example, if you're like 100 pounds, weigh like around 100 pounds, 47, 48 kilos, and you decided to eat like way above than your surplus calories, right? For example, if you want to bulk, you're gonna need to eat 2,500, 3,000, and you exceeded that in like I don't know, a day or two. Like you wanted to go 5,000 for the sake of it. Well, there's some cases where that can work, like to the people who are anorexic or to the people that really does need some mass. But if you're not that super skinny, you have some muscles, not that big, some chest there. You won't need to be doing that. Bulking is a process. So, for example, if you are eating at 4,000, 3,500, you will add. I personally don't track my calories, but for example, if you track your calories, you will add 3,000, 300, so it's gonna be 3,000. So excuse me, and I 800 calories. So yes, it's a gradual. So if you then you will test if you're making progress in that, if you're getting stronger, if you're getting PRs, getting bigger, your hormones is getting better, your testosterone is getting higher, right? You're recovering well, then you're in a good bulk, and where you're gonna keep eating that food portion. For example, if you don't track your calories like me, for example, you eat 3 times a day, so you're gonna add some extra small snack, and you're gonna keep doing that until and make progress. If you aren't making progress, then you're probably gonna need to add more portion to your food. For me, when I eat lunch, I tend to have twice. I will fill my plate with a ton of rice, a ton of food. I'll add some oil or fat sometimes. And then when I really want to push it, I'm gonna eat a ton more, gonna get some more food, try to push it like one more rep mindset in regarding bulking. Then I'll feel full. And that's normal. So that's the right path. But the process of, for example, it's easy to eat a ton of food when it's mostly at a restaurant, or processed foods, super sweets, super sweetie, super, you know a lot of sugars, a lot of oils, fast foods, big one of fast foods. While you can use that, for example, the 80-20 rule, right? You can bulk with, you know most of your food coming from less processed ones, and then the rest you're gonna try to fill in with um my mind blank, with some, more processed ones. But that is more or less on the people who are really do need it. For example, me, I have a I have a pretty high work capacity. Some people say that I do it too much, but for me it's not. So me, I could personally get away with it. If you're a beginner, you probably won't, since your work capacity is on the smaller side. So you need to do it gradually. And if you're experienced like me, if you can do it gradually, try to eat your don't try, do it. Try eat your foods, or bulk with your foods, mostly whole foods, clean food, and add some a bit of process here and there, some sweet, some treats for yourself. So there's that. What I want you to think about when bulking is, the more patient you are, the more less time you're gonna be cutting, or the less time you're gonna be spending in a cut. Because if you think about it, if bulking is slow, or the process does take a lot of patience, how much more though losing the fats? You're gonna be, of course you're used to bulking a lot, eating a lot, and you're probably gonna be again getting a lot of negative thoughts. No, I might lose some muscles, right? And you're gonna be scared because you're gonna lose some weight, and most of that weight aren't muscles. So you need to be patient. The more patient you are, the more conservative you are in a bulk, sorry, the less time you are gonna be cutting, which means more room for more bulks. So cutting is a way to make more parking spaces for your bulk, right? For more food, to increase your caloric Filipino accent, calorie baseline, energy baseline. So that is all. I hope you learned something in this video in regarding bulking and being patient. So click the link in my YouTube page or in my description if I manage to do it. YouTube, allow me to do it. So for my paid program, my bulking course. Have a good day.